Oh look, the poor cousin finally showed up. My cousin Diana sneered, her diamond bracelet catching the light as she raised her champagne glass. Driving that same old Toyota, I see. The annual Hamilton family reunion was in full swing at Uncle Richard's mansion. All around me, my successful cousins flaunted their wealth, doctors, lawyers, and executives, each more eager than the last to remind me of my place in the family hierarchy. I adjusted my simple black blazer, bought from a department store according to their assumptions, but actually custom-made in Milan. Hello, Diana. Congratulations on your promotion to VP. She preened. Junior VP of Marketing at Hamilton Industries. Daddy says I'll make full VP by next year. She glanced at my outfit with mock concern. You know, if you ever need career advice. If she only knew that I owned 47% of Hamilton Industries through a complex web of shell companies and investment firms. But that wasn't public knowledge yet. Alexandra. Uncle Richard boomed, approaching with his son Bradley. Still working at that. What was it again? Investment consulting, I replied quietly. What they thought was a small consulting firm was actually Pierce Global Investments, one of the largest private equity firms in the country. But they'd never bothered to Google me or my company. Bradley smirked, running a hand through his expertly styled hair. Must be tough watching all of us succeed while you're still consulting. He emphasized the word like it was a disease. I smiled, thinking of the merger documents sitting in my briefcase. Hamilton Industries was trying to acquire Tech Solutions, a deal that would save their failing company. What they didn't know was that I'd bought controlling interest in Tech Solutions 6 months ago. How's the merger going? I asked innocently. I heard there were some complications. Uncle Richard's smile faltered slightly. Just minor details. Everything will be finalized tomorrow morning. Really? I sipped my champagne. I heard the major stakeholder hasn't signed off yet. Bradley waved his hand dismissively. Some anonymous investor. Daddy's lawyers will handle it. Nobody says no to Hamilton Industries. My phone buzzed, a message from my executive team. Tech Solutions board ready for tomorrow. All documents prepared for your signature. Speaking of business, Diana chimed in, we're all heading to the Hamptons next weekend on the family jet. But don't worry, Alexandra, we know you're busy consulting. The family jet they thought belonged to Uncle Richard had actually been mine for the past year. I'd bought it when Hamilton Industries had to liquidate assets to stay afloat. They were just leasing it back through one of my subsidiaries. Aunt Margaret joined our group, dripping in jewelry. Alexandra, dear, you're welcome to help the catering staff if you're uncomfortable out here. We know large gatherings can be overwhelming for those not used to our circle. I thought about the Forbes article sitting in my inbox, waiting to be published, Alexandra Pierce, the silent queen of Wall Street. The piece detailed my rise to becoming one of the youngest billionaires in America, all while my family remained blissfully unaware. Thank you, Aunt Margaret, but I'm fine here. I checked my watch, an understated piece that cost more than their monthly country club dues. Although I should leave soon. I have an early meeting tomorrow. Oh. Bradley laughed. Another exciting day of consulting? Something like that, I smiled. Actually, it's about a merger. Uncle Richard's head snapped up. Merger? Yes, I gathered my things. A rather important one from what I hear. Someone needs to sign some papers. As I walked toward my old Toyota, actually an elaborate disguise for my driver, I heard Diana call out, "Don't forget your place, cousin dear. Not everyone can be a Hamilton success story." I turned back one last time. We'll see about that tomorrow, won't we? They had no idea that in less than 12 hours, their entire understanding of success and family was about to change dramatically. The next morning, I arrived at Hamilton Industries headquarters an hour early. Not through the main entrance where my cousins would strut in, but through the private elevator to the executive boardroom. My team had already prepared everything. Miss Pierce, my assistant Sarah greeted me. The Hamilton family is gathering in the lobby. Mr. Richard Hamilton appears agitated. I smiled, settling into the chair at the head of the table. I imagine he is. Has he figured out why his lawyers couldn't reach the mysterious owner of Tech Solutions? No, Sarah smirked. They spent all night trying to contact Pierce Global Investments. Apparently they don't have your private number. I opened my laptop, reviewing the real numbers behind Hamilton Industries, numbers my uncle had been hiding from his board. Without this merger, they'd be bankrupt within 6 months. All their mansions, jets, and social status built on a foundation of debt and delusion. At exactly 9 a.m., the boardroom doors opened. Uncle Richard burst in, followed by Bradley and Diana, all three freezing mid-step when they saw me. "Alexandra." Uncle Richard sputtered. What are you doing here? This is a private meeting." "Is it?" I replied calmly. "I thought this was the Tech Solutions merger meeting. I'm right where I belong." Bradley laughed nervously. "This is ridiculous. Security. They work for me now," I said softly. "Well, technically they always did. Titan Security Services is a subsidiary of Pierce Global Investments." Diana's perfectly sculpted eyebrows drew together. "Pierce Global, but that's the company you need approval from for your merger?" I finished for her. "Yes, it is. Please, family, take a seat. We have a lot to discuss." More board members filed in, followed by lawyers clutching briefcases. Everyone found their seats, leaving Uncle Richard standing, his face turning an interesting shade of purple. "This is impossible," he declared. "You're just a consultant." I projected Hamilton Industries' true financial statements onto the wall screen. "Actually, Uncle, I'm the CEO and founder of Pierce Global Investments. We control Tech Solutions along with about 30% of your company's debt." Surprise. The room erupted in whispers. Diana's diamond bracelet clinked against the table as her hand trembled. "Now," I continued, pulling out the real merger documents, "let's talk about what this deal actually looks like. Your company is failing, Uncle Richard. You've been cooking the books for years, hiding losses, inflating assets." Bradley jumped up. "You can't prove dash." "I can prove everything," I cut him off. "Every false report, every hidden account, every time you used company money for personal expenses. Like that family jet you love so much. The one I actually own." Uncle Richard collapsed into a chair. "Why are you doing this?" "Why?" I laughed softly. "Because for years you've treated me like I was beneath you. The poor cousin. The failure. The one who didn't deserve a seat at your table. Well, guess what? I now own the table." I stood up, commanding the room just as they'd always commanded family gatherings. "Here's what's going to happen. I'll approve the merger, saving your company and your reputations. But there will be changes. First," I said, sliding documents across the polished boardroom table, "Bradley and Diana will step down from their executive positions. Those jobs should go to qualified professionals, not family members playing at success." "You can't do this." Diana shrieked, her perfect composure cracking. "Daddy, tell her she can't do this." "Surely I can. And I am." I pulled up more documents on the screen. "Your division has lost $30 million this year, Diana. Being junior VP of marketing requires more than just posting selfies from business lunches." Bradley slumped in his chair. "This is about the family reunion, isn't it? About how we treated you." "No, Bradley. This is about competence. About earning success instead of inheriting it." I turned to Uncle Richard. "Which brings me to you, Uncle. The board will be restructured. You'll remain as chairman but with significantly reduced power. And the first order of business." I smiled. "Full financial transparency." The color drained from his face. "You destroy your own family?" "Destroy." I raised an eyebrow. "I'm saving this company. Your pride and mismanagement nearly destroyed it. Those country club memberships, private schools, and summer homes you've all been flaunting? They were built on corporate fraud and nepotism." The board members were furiously taking notes. My cousin's perfect world was crumbling before their eyes. "The new Hamilton Industries will be run on merit, not bloodlines," I continued. "And yes, Pierce Global will become the majority shareholder. Consider it poetic justice. The poor cousin now owns the family empire." Diana burst into tears, her mascara running. "But what are we supposed to do? We don't know how to work." I finished for her. "Don't worry, cousin dear. I'm not completely heartless. You'll both be offered entry-level positions if you want them. Real jobs with real responsibilities. Time to earn your place." Uncle Richard finally found his voice. "All these years, while we were mocking you, I was building something real," I nodded. "Every snide comment about my car, my clothes, my career, I used it as fuel. While you were all playing rich, I was actually becoming wealthy. The difference is I earned every penny. I stood up, straightening my Chanel suit, the one they'd probably assumed was a knockoff. The merger will proceed, saving hundreds of jobs. Hamilton Industries will survive, but under new leadership. My leadership. And the family? Bradley asked quietly. We'll learn some valuable lessons about judging people. I gathered my things. Starting with next month's family reunion. It's being moved to my estate. I think it's time you all saw how the poor cousin really lives. As my shell-shocked family filed out of the boardroom, Diana paused at the door. I don't understand. Why didn't you tell us? All these years. Would you have believed me? I asked. Or would you have tried to use me like you use everything else? The next morning, as headlines announced the merger and my true identity, my phone buzzed with messages from family members who'd suddenly discovered my worth. I ignored them all, focusing instead on the changes ahead. A week later, I watched from my office as Bradley cleaned out his desk, Diana turned in her company car, and Uncle Richard faced his first board meeting as a diminished chairman. The whispers in the hallways weren't about the poor cousin anymore. They were about the brilliant CEO who'd orchestrated the greatest corporate takeover their family had ever seen. At the next family reunion held in my 30,000 square foot estate, I watched my relatives arrive in their now leased luxury cars, wearing their suddenly subdued designer clothes. As they entered my home, larger than Uncle Richard's mansion, their eyes wide at the obvious display of true wealth, I smiled. Welcome, family, I announced from the grand staircase. Shall we begin again? This time without assumptions about who belongs where. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just proving people wrong. It's becoming so undeniably right that they have to live with the knowledge of their mistake every single day. They'd called me the poor cousin, never realizing they were the ones who'd been poor all along, poor in judgment, in character, and in understanding what real success looks like. And now they worked for